So moving ahead, let's look and understand it more precisely, right? Requirement of project management, how it is required and why it is required. If I go through these things, you can see there are various things which are written here in the slides. Why the requirement, why the project management is required? Because of the strategic ideas. It gives strategic ideas, it gives you various ideas to how to strategize your activities in such a way that it causes less losses, or you get more margin in your project, more profits in your project, right? How you can use resource optimization, that is a strategy. So strategizing your resource optimization, strategizing your time management, strategizing your activities in such a way that the project can be completed within that set timelines is called strategic ideas. So those strategic ideas or strategizing those activities is actually required for project management, right? Again, so next thing is clear focus and objectives. Clear focus and objectives, yes, we need to have that clear focus. We need to have the clarity of objectives which are to be achieved, right? We should understand that that particular product is required, or that particular product is required to be achieved. For achieving that goal or that product, what all the activities we have to define. So we should have that clear vision that yes, this kind of activity has to be achieved. So for example, as I told you, that IT product, that IT product has to be produced, right? Has to be produced, and that production of IT product required a certain strategic ideas. That could be done only through a clear vision, right? So a clear vision was required, a clear objective was to produce that kind of IT product by which it can help the recruitment agencies to recruit a particular and a fine and skilled, experienced candidate for that particular activity, or in the company or in an organization. Right? Other thing is leadership. Why leadership is important, by the way? So leadership is important because we need to channelize those activities in a proper way, right? So properly doing planning and organizing those activities is equally important, which can be done only through the leadership role. So leadership role is equally important. We have to channelize, we have to organize things, and we have to ensure that each and every activity is being done in a predefined time and within the predefined budget with certain set of standards. So that is why leadership is equally important, right? There should be someone, right? There should be someone to check on you. There should be someone to check every activity that yes, this is being done, this is being done correctly. You know, there are teachers, there are class teachers who always used to scold us that yes, now you are going right and now you are going wrong. They always used to teach you that this is the right way and this is the wrong way. So there should be someone to guide you. There should be someone to lead you. That is why it is essential. Continuous oversight. Okay, moving forward, continuous oversight. Why continuous oversight is important? Because we need to control activities. We need to control things. We need to understand that yes, this activity is is extending to a certain level which is not beyond our control, which is actually beyond our control. So we need to understand why the activities are getting out of control. We need to monitor it. We need to rectify at that point itself, just in time, right? So those things are to be eradicated just in time. That is the approach we need to use. That is why continuous oversight is equally important. Now, moving forward, subject matter expertise. Yes, for each and every activity, there must be someone who has subject matter expertise. Every person is not perfect, right? Every person is not equally knowledgeable. But every person has some kind of knowledge in which he has expertise. So there are people who may not be good in other tasks, but are very good in certain tasks. We need to analyze those people. We need to identify those people and need to allocate those people to a certain subject which is actually of their expertise level, right? So that they can guide other people or their subordinates so that they can guide our project managers or the leadership groups that this activity has to be done in that standardized manner only. There should be subject matter expertise. That is why the subject matter expertise are required in any kind of project, because they guide us, they help us to achieve that kind of project. They find the loopholes. There are technical persons who always find the loopholes in certain kind of activities. That yes, this cannot be done in such a way. Why? Because the standards are failing. Right? So should be someone who always blow the whistle and tell you that yes, this is not the right way. This can be done only through the subject matter expertise, which is actually being done, and they are of equal importance in any kind of project. They belong to advisory group in any project, right? So we all cannot be good in everything, but yeah, we have to be good in one or two things, and that is why that the people who are good in one or two things are called as the subject matter expertise for that particular thing. Now, moving ahead, orderly process. So every process had to be managed in a sequential way, in an orderly manner. That is why it is important. The project management is important for doing activities in a sequential, in a planned and organized way. Right? Other thing is quality control. Why quality control is important? Quality control is important because we have to check, we have to see that every activity is attaining every kind of every kind of standards, every kind of things which are required for the project management. So this quality control is equally important. We can do another topic on quality control, because quality control is a very vast topic. We have certain set of standards we need to meet for every particular activity. IS 14,000, IS 5,001. Every activity has to be done in a particular set of ways. That is the standard ways. That standard has to be met and has to be checked on the quality control way. Another thing is risk management. How you do risk management? Risk management is something in which we analyze what all the adversities, what all the pros and cons are actually there in any particular activity. We need to check that what all the laggings are there, what all the rectifications are required, what all the things which needs more focus, right? And how can we rectify that? So there is always risk in everything. There is always risk in having or doing any activity. We need to check what all the kinds of risk are there, what all the risk can we accept, what all the risk, what all the probability, what all the impact they have, those risks have on our project, right? If the risk has more impact or a high impact on a project, then we need to check that whether we need to accept that risk or we need to abort that risk, right? We need to ignore a risk or we need to take a certain measure in which that risk can be managed. So that is another thing which we need to understand. Yeah, and the last thing is managing and learning from the past experience. For every project, we should understand that there are things which has been done. We should always we always document everything, right? For any particular project, we always document everything. Why documentation is required? Documentation also helps to understand and to learn from our mistakes, right? So learning from our mistakes and the things which we have done, which could have been done in another way, helps you to find and understand that this could be help to another project. This could provide a help to another project. What I meant is, suppose there is a project in which we have done a certain blunder and we have documented that blunder in our file or in any kind of documents. So for any project which comes up, a new project which is of similar category, with that kind of blunder, we will understand it. We will go through that blunder. We would go through the documentation of the previous project to the past experience. We will understand that this blunder should not happen to our new project. So this helps, right? It helps in understanding that this mistake should not be repeated in another project. This is another thing of project management. Okay, so moving ahead. So hope this makes a sense, and hope you are now are aware now that what is the requirement of project management, right? So moving ahead, project phases and knowledge areas. So there are, if I talk about project phases, as per Pinbox 6th edition, it consists of 5 process groups. That includes 45 processes as per the Pinbox 6th edition, which includes initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, and closure. It is a set of interrelated actions and activities which are performed to create a pre-specified product, service, or result, right? So we define each and every activity in a project into particular process groups, which are initiating group, planning group, execution group, monitoring and control group, and then the closure group. Why we segregate these projects or phases, why the project phases are required? Because we need the effective flow of project, right? There are certain set of plans and sequential set of activities that are planned according to these 5 process groups or project phases. So it ensures that project flows in an organized and well-planned manner. That is why these project phases and knowledge areas are required. So yeah, talking about the knowledge areas, it consists of 10 knowledge areas as per Pinbox edition. Project integration management. Integration means we are always integrating various kind of managements together. We should understand why it is important, how we can integrate various things, right? Various things to have and present accordingly. Project integration management, then project scope management. What is the scope of the project? It has a well-defined scope. Every project has a well-defined scope, as I told you, but to manage that scope is equally important. You might have heard of the terms like de-scoping and re-scoping, right? Scope always, they should be strictly adhere to the scope management. Why? Because non-adherence to scope management might lead to change in the contract or change in the terms, change in certain activities. It might result in change in the schedule, change in the cost, quality, everything. So everything is interrelated. Everything in the knowledge areas is interrelated, right? So project schedule management. Every project has a particular predefined schedule, which a proper time management, right? So that proper time management has to be adhered, has to be looked into. Yes, this is a fixed timeline and we cannot cross it. That management of activities in such a way that the project can be achieved in that particular time is known as project schedule management. This comes under the schedule. Now, the project cost management. How we talk about the cost management? The resource, suppose there are resources and various things and materials, and always talks about the cost. What is the budget? The project with a predefined budget should not exceed that budget. That cost manager used to do. And they have to check into that. The project managers have to check with the cost managers or the building engineers or everyone that yes, why the budget is exceeding. They should always check on those things, right? So budget should not exceed. That is the basic thing of any particular project. So the project should be within that particular profit. It should not be in the loss. That is the thing. So that is the one requirement. Now, project quality management. Project quality management means we need to meet those standards. We need to ensure that every particular activity or every task or every delivered product should be as per the standards. Project resource management. Project resource management means we are aligning and allocating resources who are skilled. We are identifying the skilled persons, knowledgeable, experienced persons, identifying them and allocating them to a particular activity is called resource management. Also, what I spoke about is resource optimization. That resource optimization also comes in the project resource management. We should look that any particular activity or a particular resource, the particular resource should not be kept idle. So that is the resource optimization. Project procurement management, what we have to procure from outside, what is to be procured from inside or from any other activity or from any other site, what is to be procured from other places. For example, as we were talking about the IT product which we used to launch, if we need a certain set of the tools or any kind of product which we used to have, which we have to get from like Oracle subscription or Microsoft subscription, that is procurement of those products is uh, comes under the procurement management. Okay, so moving forward, project stakeholder management. Yeah, so various stakeholders are involved in any particular project. There are various stakeholders who are having interest in it or who are having power. So power interest matrix is another thing which we can discuss about the stakeholder management. That there are various stakeholders who have actually the power in the project, or they have interest in the project, or they have both, high or low, whatever the matrix is. However, whatever the involvement is with the project, within the project, they we can understand that. To successfully manage a project, we should be able to know each and every of the knowledge areas. So that is the brief description of the project stakeholder management. Now, there are two more project management knowledge area. One is the communication management and the risk management, right? So if I talk about the communication management, it is equally important. Why it is important? Because we should understand that what we have to talk about and to whom. So that is the communication management. We need to understand how we have to present our things, to whom we have to present our things, and how we can do it in a proper way. So that is the communication management. Now, again, we are talking about the risk management. Risk management is something which we need to understand how the risk can be managed. Risk can have an adverse effect. So we should understand what is the impact of the risk, what is the probability of the risk. If it is low or if it is high, we should know how it can be ignored, whether we have to ignore it, whether we have to abort it, whether we have to neutralize it, or whether we have to close it. So this is the risk management we should understand. Okay. So moving ahead, this is a picture which includes process groups and the process management. This is something which you can find in PIMBOK 6 also, PIMBOK 6 edition. So knowledge areas is project integration management, project scope management. It all have, these knowledge areas all have the 5 process groups: initiation process group, planning process group, executing process group, monitoring and control process group, closing process group. So what you can understand from this is a project involves everything, right? This is a continuous process. Project management is a continuous process, right from the initiation to the closing of project. It is a continuous process, and it continues from initiation to the end or to the close of the project. Hope it is making sense to everyone. Okay. So again, if I move forward, evolution of project management, how it got evolved. So we have gone through various things, right? Like how it has been evolved, how the project has been done, and how it is going to be, how it has been managed by our forefathers and all. We might have, right? We always know that there were forefathers of project management. Henry Gantt. Henry Gantt is best known for creating his self-named scheduling diagram, Gantt chart, right? Gantt chart was discovered by Henry Gantt. So Henry Gantt was someone who has discovered the project management, and it has evolved. It has evolved from many things. So from manual calculations to the records on papers, and then to softwares, project management has actually evolved from various basic things to the software level, right, to a digital level. We were doing manual calculations earlier, and now it has been done, and now we are using various softwares like Ecosys, Primavera, MS Projects, Microsoft Projects, etc., to analyze, to understand the projects and how it is going to understand why it is going being this much, and to control it, to monitor it. Right. So this is called the evolution of the project management. Now project management is more an art than calculation, turning it to be called as more artistic science with emerging and advancement in technologies. Technologies here by which here I mean that there are Primavera P6, right? there are MS projects, there are Power BI, there are various dashboards. Dashboards is the new trend of our market, in which we are understanding how to create a virtually perfect kind of vision that can give you and that can give you analysis of the projects. In just by look, you can see that yes, this is the project, and this has been changed into this way. So dashboard is something which is an upcoming or emerging thing which in the industry, though it involves those kind of Gantt charts and other charts itself. But yes, the presentation of these things is equally important. Okay, moving ahead. So you can see this. This is the way in which our forefathers have evolved. So if you talk about breaking down the from apes to the hard facts, like single projects. Earlier, we were managing only the single project. So the soft facts, manual calculations, and there was a only corporate culture in the global market. But now it is a multi-project management. And then we were managing multiple projects in a particular strength, right? Then we had intercultural multi-project management. That means we are analyzing the projects globally. We are having we are removing the cultural barriers, and we are dealing with those kind of things. And we are having several projects which have different kind of cultural and global impact. Due to this globalization, actually, it has resulted in the project management of multiple, or we can say intercultural multi-project management, right? Then intercultural project corporation management, in which various globally developed countries came together to manage certain kind of projects. The skills from various on the global level have been utilized. So from various countries, people come and their skills are utilized to deliver that particular kind of project. It has eased the process. It has also provided the work-life balance to the project manager, right? And there is a conscious level balance, right? So there fear has left down, and then now we have achieved the happiness. So this is what the evolution of project management is. So through this globalization and various development of through the evolution of project management, it helps the people to understood that why it is required. It gives you a sense of happiness. It makes you feel happy that yes, we are not the only one who is responsible. Firstly thing. Secondly thing, we are equally responsible for every task, right? So there is always an equality and responsibility for each and every activity, for each and every particular person across the globe who are involved in the project. Okay, so moving ahead, what all the typical job roles job roles are actually involved in the project management? Project managers always aspire for technical people who are in the engineering background, who are belonging to the IT or computer science. Why IT or computer science? Because they have a keen knowledge to understand and develop those kind of things or those kind of softwares which can be utilized for project management. There are various tools now. As I told you, that project management has gone to the has gone to the digital mode. From manual calculations to the digital mode, it has gone up. So IT and computer science has actually helped you to understand to develop those kind of softwares which could help. By engineering people, because they have more kind of technical knowledge, right? They give you a sense of technicality, that yes, this can be standardized in such a way. So for standardization, we can use engineering people. The people who are having the background of engineering or the technical are utilized for engineering things. The other people who are belonging to the IT and computer science are giving you that platform, that digital platform in which the project management could be done. The other thing is business administration. Why business and business administration is required? We always see that yes, what the people are doing, they're doing just business administration. They're just doing the administrative works. So why they're not equally important? Earlier we used to feel like that, but no, they have equal importance. Business administration people actually help you to understand how much time a resource takes on a particular activity. They help you to understand your cost. They help you to understand how can that resource be optimistically used or utilized. They have that kind of role. And then business administration also help you to understand how we can plan the resource, how we can do resource optimization, right? So that business administration is equally important. Now, the management role is why it is important. As I told you, that they belong to the leadership role. Someone who will guide you, someone who will lead you, someone who will help you to through conscious decisions, through decisions of multiple people over the table and having through various discussions. They will come across and they will show you the people who are in the who are in the management role, will help you to understand how this management can be done, how the management of standardization, how the management of digital platform, how the management of resource optimization and cost management and resource management can be done on a particular way. So that is the management, the quality control, everything has to be managed by the manager, project manager. Then comes the team leader. Team leader helps you to understand how the project manager can take those tough decisions which are actually essential for achieving the project or the product or the service for which we are doing that project, right? So that is one thing why that team leader or team person is required. Other thing is any leadership role. Any leadership role means project management is equally important. Why? Because for leadership role, the person who leads you, the leader, who is a leader? Leader is a person who leads you, who guides you, who helps you to understand this is the way, this who shows you the path. So the person who is actually leading a leadership role or is doing a leadership role, is acting as a leader, helps you to understand and to analyze the resource, helps you to understand, to manage resource, cost, and quality. Right? He understands, he makes you to think that yes, this is our scope, and we cannot go beyond this. Right? So any leadership role, any person who is in the leadership role will guide you that yes, this is the project management and we need to do it. He used to check on us. So this is what the leadership role is. You need to check on everything, every resource, every task, and every activity. Yes, so these are the typical job roles which a person who is opting for a project management can do. Moving ahead, if I talk about a case study, so let's go about the case study. Suppose there is a school. Just take an example. There is a school of B2 segment, and we need to develop a learning app for the school education. What we used to do, we have done a certain kind of market research in which we analyze that yes, we have to develop an app which is utilized for the school, for the all the students who are in the school to have better knowledge, to have better understanding, and to get more equipped with the things, more resources. So we did a market research. The person that did the market research, he analyzed that what are the laggings and what are the opportunities are there. He identified the opportunities and laid those opportunities down. Then he utilized those opportunities like that yes, this is the thing in which we have to work on. So what all the things he has marked? He has marked a plan in which that product can be achieved, right? So what is a product? Product is a learning app for school education. Learning app for school education involves the content development, then application development and marketing. What is content development? Content development is a particular phase of that project, right? So it has program 1, program 2 and program 3. Program 1 is the content development, program 2 is the application development and program 3 is the marketing. So this is what a portfolio is, right? Portfolio means, if I talk about this, okay. So this is what the portfolio is. Portfolio is that there is a requirement of a learning app for a school, and our project is we have done our market research. We just analyze the things. We just came through that. We analyze that how it can be done and what other things are required. Then we analyze that, yes, it can be segregated into 3 activities, which can be broken down into 3 phases, which is content development, application development, and marketing. So content development of class 1 and class 2, it can be a basic, which class 1 can be a basic content development, and class 2 is of advanced learning or advanced content development, right? Now we have these kind of activities. Then other is application development. Now the content, if the content development is over, then we move on to the second activity, and that is application development. What kind of applications we can develop? It can be developed through the web applications or iOS applications or Android applications. We have utilized those applications, right? We have used those applications. Then the other thing is marketing. Okay, we have prepared the application. Then what we have to do? We have to market it out so that we can sell it to the customers, right? Who all are our customers? Customers are the people, the students, school students who are actually utilizing those apps, right? Who will utilize those apps and who will use those apps. It can be of the marketing is product launch. Like marketing का जो product launch करना है. Now we need to do the product launch. We need to develop a new market for the people. We need to understand how it can be developed. This is the way in which it can be utilized. Now, moving ahead. Project management career path. So what is the project management career path? Project management career path is nothing but it has many roles, right? So the people who are belonging to the construction or the people who are belonging to architecture can go into the project management career path anyway, or in the software or engineering and go ahead through these career paths. So for example, if we want to go into the construction project management, the person should be of should have a bachelor degree in civil engineering, should have good knowledge of budget and risk management, should have a knowledge of blueprints and construction materials. So whenever you are going for construction project management, the person should be good in civil engineering. So these are the requirements which are the basic requirements for adhering to that kind of career path, right? So if I talk about the architecture, why architecture is important? Architecture, by the architects there are many architects, right? So the architects who are having a degree in architecture or in civil engineering, if they possess good knowledge of communication, good design solving skills, they have knowledge of building codes, they can utilize and they can come into the project management role. Similarly, if I talk about software and IT people who are involved in the computer science or in the related field, the people who are having organization management and problem solving skills, who have experience with certain kind of languages or currently Agile, Java, Jira and SQL are going through. These are the emerging and mostly used in our industry. So Agile is the new term. Agile, we have to be agile, we have to be flexible, we have to be, what does that Agile mean? Agile means nothing but it is to be flexible in a very concise way, I can say, to be flexible enough. How can we be flexible enough to change our thoughts, change our processes, change our ways of thinking and thoughts so that we can achieve that product. That is kind of agile thing which we use. So experience with Agile, Java, SQL, Jira. Jira is something which is another thing which we are using currently. So if a software person possesses these, the person can go ahead with that project management career path. Talking about engineering, the person which is having good math and organization and verbal and written skills. If he has experience in CAD, he has experience in blueprints and mechanical tools, the person can go ahead with the career management path, project management path. Again, if I talk about manufacturing, so the person who are involved in the manufacturing also, if they have good supervising skills, they have knowledge of QC, quality control procedure and best practices, they can be utilized and they can go further in the project management career path. If I talk about health insurance or health persons who are belonging to the health industry, can also go to that project management career path. So project management is something which is required in each and every field. So we just have to have those common set of skills so that we can go ahead and progress in a management level. So this is an emerging thing which we should understand. And this is a basic thing. if you have those kind of knowledge, if you have those kind of skills which are required for every procedure or every going through, I mean, if you have those kind of written and verbal skills, if you have good organization skills, you can actually accelerate in your career and can achieve whatever the heights you want. For example, if I talk about, you might have seen this, a project coordinator. This is a basic requirement. Okay, so this is a job title for a project coordinator who is actually having a salary of $32K to $52K. His experience is entry level, and education can be of high school diploma. So a person who is having high school diploma can also become a project coordinator, right? Similarly, assistant project management. If a person wants to be assistant project management, he should have a bachelor's degree in management training. Right? And experience can be of entry level. Salary could be of. So this, let me tell you, this is just for example, right? Indian scenario is quite different from what I'm speaking of. This is about the global things. I mean, the people who are involved in the project management career path globally are actually utilizing those kind of skills and are having this kind of salary package and the position, right? So if you want to be a VP of project management, so for becoming a vice president for a particular company, you must have a postgraduate degree, project management certificate, project management experience with multiple group, and active participation in conferences and training programs. So that is one thing which you have to understand, that you should have at least 10 plus years of experience with these kind of things. Then only you can become a VP of a project management and you can aspire for that kind of role. This is something which you should understand. Yes. So there is a bright future of project management career path. If you opt for a project management career path, there are an ample number of opportunities for every person. Okay. So project management training and industry certification can enable industry professionals to grab their first role as a project manager. So what is this initial point of management role as a project manager? If you want to be a project manager, you have to have a training for any industry certification, and you should have a certain kind of experience, right? Experience in your career. So then you can opt for the project management role or the project manager role. Over time, if you have experience over various kind of large and complex assignments or large and complex projects, which are not only done locally but also globally, you can have that kind of effective project manager. Other thing is, the individuals who exhibit a promise to continuous learning and substantiate themselves at work have excellent advancement potentials. So that is what I meant. Learning is a continuous process, my friends. So it is not that you have completed your college and it's done. No, it will continue forever in your life. So this is something we should understand, that learning is a never-ending process. Never-ending process. At every stage of life, you should learn everything, and we should have that kind of a feeling in our mind. We should have that mindset that yes, we should learn this. Any new thing, any new skill, any new knowledge area, we should always opt for that. If we have that kind of mindset that yes, this is the new skill that is emerging in the industry and I have to learn this, then only we can have that positive attitude and we can grow. That is the very essential part. Because learning is a continuous process, guys. What are the career path? What are the project career path? What are the roles you can expect if you are opting for a project management role? For example, initial career roles would be a project assistant, project coordinator, or project management support. Moving onwards, after being having an ample amount of experience and certifications, you can opt for a project manager, implementation manager, a project leader who leads and guides the people. Right? Okay. Moving ahead, if you want to go to the senior role or senior top management role, then you can aspire for a management consultant, program manager, a portfolio manager, head of the project, and director of projects. So these are certain kind of roles and top management roles which are actually prevailing in our industry. Right. Moving ahead, what are the interpersonal skills required by a project manager? Project, we have been talking about the project management, that yes, he has those kind of responsibilities and he has to look after everything. He has to understand everything. But yes, there are certain things in which he has to be qualified enough. Not only technically, but yes, interpersonal skills are equally important for a manager. Interpersonal skills involves he must have that kind of leadership persona, right? He must have a leadership, an apt for learning, an apt for understanding, an apt for having more kind of skills, an apt for understanding new things, for learning new things, right? So he should have ethical mindset. The most important thing, he should have an ethical mindset. Second thing is his communication skills. Third thing is collaboration skills. He must have those kind of skills by which he could collaborate with everyone. He must have good in presentation skills. The person should be emotionally intelligent enough. So the project manager should be, the person should be emotionally intelligent enough. He should have, there are situations in which the project manager has to take tough decisions, right? Emotionally intelligent, this project manager can only take that. So that is what is expected. Project manager should be emotionally intelligent. Project manager should be assertive, should have assertive behavior. Why assertive behavior? Because he has to get things done. If he is not assertive, he cannot make it, cannot get things done by the people. So he should be assertive enough, right? He should have that kind of aura that yes, this has to be done by this particular way and in this within this timeline by this particular person. So he should have that kind of behavior that yes, it has to be done and it can be done that by that person only. So what I meant is not to be commanding, but yes, should be assertive in a way. He should have skills to manage the changes, manage the project. He should be resilient and perseverance because patience is very much important. He should be creative and innovative. Why? Because creativity and innovations are the new culture or the new skill which is required for a project management. You know that how the things are emerging, right? Earlier we didn't have that kind of digital platforms. In fact, we are having that class. Earlier we used to have classes in with a lot of benches and people are sitting around, right? There is a development of conducting of classes also. We are having now with the digital platform, and we are having through MS Teams or Zoom or various meetings on a digital way. So we need to understand that through innovation we have to improvise ourselves. So he should have that kind of mindset that yes, he has to be creative, he has to adjust himself, he has to be agile enough, he or she has to be creative enough, he or she has to be innovative enough, and should accommodate with every new ventures or the new uh, skills or the new softwares or new technologies which are coming. So he has to adapt himself. Adaptability is the exact term which I would say. Adaptability is equally important for a project manager. Okay. So if I talk about this, if I talk about the basic things which we have understood, he should have a great vision. Great vision means he should think about the product which he has to or the service which he has to deliver. Right. So that great vision is equally important. He should have good communication skills, integrity in his work with the people, with the task he's doing. He should be enthusiastic enough. If a person is not enthusiastic or motivated, he cannot make others enthusiastic and motivated. Because there are situations, there are ups and downs in our project or in life also, right? So he should be enthusiastic enough. That ups and downs should not reflect in the project or in his work. He should be able to motivate not only himself but also the team members or the resources. That is what empathy. Yes, empathy is equally important. Empathy means that the person should understand the situation of others, right? So we should understand that yes, if I am feeling low, and if a certain person is not behaving properly, there might be some situations behind in his something is going in his head, right? So we should understand the situation of that person, that what is wrong with that person. Suppose there is a very excellent person who is working in a very good way, in a very excellent manner, and suddenly he start working, ignoring things. So why that ignorance has emerged? We should talk him. So he should have those communication skills, that rapport with the person, so that he could understand why that person has changed his, why there is a sudden change in the behavior of that particular excellent performer. He should have that kind of rapport with the person, and he should have empathy enough to understand why that excellent performer has started behaving in such a way. So that understanding level is equally important. The art of delegation. Every task cannot be done by a project manager. Sorry. So the project manager should understand how he could delegate things to other persons in a way that it has to be managed by the persons, and the task has to be managed by people equally. Other thing is team building. So team building is equally important. Why team building is important? Team building is important because we need to motivate each and every person. We need to have people. We need to understand people. We need to involve people, right? So conscious inclusion and diversity, various things are going around ourselves and globally. We should not, since we are having teams now, the projects are being managed globally. There are cultural differences, right? Those cultural differences might lead to uh, various kind of we call agitations or problems. Those problems should be resolved by a project manager. Project managers should understand that though there are people who are with diverse cultures or with diverse country or diverse backgrounds, but yes, they have certain kind of skills which are actually required for the project. He or she should give particular respect to each and every, equal respect to each and every individual in the team. So that is what the team building skill is, right? Team building skill is very much important because we need to keep people together to make the work thing, to make things done, right? So that is one thing which is equally important. Other thing is problem solving approach. Suppose there is always a person who comes up and says that yes, this is the problem and this is the thing which is being done. The person should understand, the project manager should understand that yes, this is the problem and this could be the solution. So he should not only analyze the problem, the person should also analyze how this problem could be resolved. This is the one thing which should be understood. So these are the interpersonal skills which are required for a project manager. So the people who are opting for the project management or for the project management career path should always go through these project management. Should always possess these, not only the technical but also the interpersonal skills required for the project, right? Okay. So if I talk about the project management, we have seen various kind of knowledge areas and process groups. So these project management knowledge areas cover a lot of ground. It can be intimidating to look at the list of the processes and tasks, and you might even wonder how will you fit any of it into your schedule. But implementing these skills into your projects will keep you out of, at least drastically reduce the crisis management and move you into forward thinking and proactive decision making. Right? And as you refine and iterate them in your projects, you will become a master at managing projects and people involved in them. So this is what the thing is. So we should understand how to do the project management, how we can acquire those skills, and how we can get the skills which are required to manage a particular project. So this is it.